A lot of the places I go hiking are around bodies of water, rivers or streams, and a lot of times when I go, this is the knife I carry. It's the SOG Seal Pup, shown here with two different sheaths. I'll show you a little bit about each one, and I'll explain to you why I carry this knife with me. Okay, first I ordered this hard sheath. I think it's called a Krydex. It's pretty cool because the knife fits in it really snug. It locks right there. It won't fall out. It's also got this clasp, and you can cut string or twine without even removing it from the sheath. I thought that was pretty cool, and originally I went with this, but then with this against your waist, this sticks out kind of far. Down here you got like 2 inches from your leg. I didn't like that. Also, it didn't last too long, and it ended up breaking right here. So I ordered this one. It also fits pretty snug. Has the clasp. Many different ways you can put in your belt this way. It'll hook up to all the MOLLE equipment. It's got this here. I guess it's meant for a stone. I don't use it for a stone though. I'll show you what I use it for now. Anyway, here's the knife. You've seen reviews of this over and over probably. It's a nice knife. It's part serrated. It's got a very comfortable handle. It's about the perfect size for cleaning trout, small game. Inside, I got this small case here. In front of that small case, I've got a triple anabolic ointment. Behind that, got a small envelope, and inside of this I've got about 50 feet of 6-pound Maxima fishing line. There's a zip tie here. If you pull this up, when this is in here flush, it only goes down so far, leaving a bit of space. I've used every bit of space this compartment has. You pull up the zip tie, and you've got a small Ziploc bag. Inside of this, I've got Benadryl, aspirin, antacids, anything you could possibly need out there. Inside this case, this is really cool. This is probably the first time you've seen something like this. No big deal, but I've got a lighter, some lint, not so much for starting fires, but keeps the compass from bouncing around. A small compass, a few band-aids. This here is probably, if not the, one of the smallest, most complete fishing kits there is. It's held closed with a bread tie, but inside I've got 2 different size treble hooks, 1 swivel, 2 nymphs, 2 different size bait hooks, and 3 small split shots, a dry fly, a wet fly, and a jig. And then I've got a float. Now the most fishing kits that most knives come with are a complete joke. The hooks are way too big, the line's way too thick, and the split shot they give you is as big as this compass. Majority of the time I'm hiking or backpacking, I'm around trout waters, sometimes bluegill or catfish. But for trout waters, you need 6 pound maximum 6 pound. Anything bigger than that, you're just gonna be lucky to get a trout. But 6 pound will also bring in most catfish that you're gonna catch around shore, bluegill, and any other small fish. The float can be used with the jig. In the waters I fish, most of the time, trout I catch are on dry flies, lime trudes, size 14, 16, or flashback nymphs, zug bugs, or gold-ribbed hare's ears. I have one of each. I also have a small jig. Small jig can be used, the weight, this is 1/32 of an ounce. The weight can hold it down below the float. You could put worms on this, grubs, moths, butterflies, crickets, almost any kind of insect you could find, and catch fish. It's a more detailed, more realistic kit. So all of this fits inside of this small container, which is about 300 thousandths by 300 thousandths by 3 inches. All of this fits in here with the band-aids, the lighter, the compass, the lint, often used to start fires, dryer lint, and it all fits in here. It's pretty cool because when I go hiking, sometimes I stumble across a new creek or a river, and the trout are easily visible, and when you don't have a pole, if you do have this knife with you, you can easily cut a small branch or find a dead branch on the ground and put together a makeshift fishing gear setup, fishing rod, and pull some trout out. So just some ideas, something you can do with some otherwise useless space. Who carries around a sharpening stone? Not too many people. Well, I just thought I'd show you what I did. So everything you see here fits inside of this small compartment here. And a lot of times when I'm out hiking, the hike turns into an overnighter. Sometimes I'm out a lot longer than I had planned to be, and I only take small snacks with me most of the time. So at those times, when I come across a new stream or river, I often wish I had a pole with me to pull some trout out for a meal. Well, with this, I've done so. The reason I put 50 feet of line is because if you're spending the night, you can cut off 15, 20 feet and set a trot line by tying this line to a root on the shore or a stick staked in the shore. You can put one of these small bait hooks on it with a moth, butterfly, grasshopper, cricket, something like that, any insect. Small split shot, throw it out, leave it overnight. Most of the time in the morning, you'll have a fish. Or trout. Trout are wild trout, are predators. If they see small flies coming downstream, most of the time, hungry or not, they'll hit them. They're pretty easy to take once you get the hang of it. And with this kit, I can pull out, like I say, trout, bluegill, catfish. And I pulled out all of the above. So, just to give you some ideas what you can do with some otherwise useless empty space.